You might not hear this often, but it's okay to start again no matter how many times it takes. Let's sit with that for a moment because most people don't say this out loud, especially not if you're in your 40s or 50s, especially not if you have already checked some of the boxes like the career, the degree, the house, the title, the business. The world doesn't exactly cheer you on when you are starting over. And it's for this reason that the older you are, the louder the voice in your head gets. The voice that says, you should have figured this out by now. But let me tell you something. That voice is not yours. That's conditioning. That's the noise you pick up from a culture obsessed with timelines, success markers, and comparison. And I'm here to tell you that you don't have to listen to it anymore. Today, I'm going to give you 3 practical tools to protect your peace, honor your timing, and yes, find the courage to start again as many times as it takes. Welcome to At What Point, the podcast where we dive into the real, raw, and rewarding journey of personal and professional growth. I'm Catherine, your host, here to guide you through mindset shifts, powerful aha moments, and the resilience it takes to thrive no matter what life throws your way. Whether you're climbing the corporate ladder, taking the leap into entrepreneurship, or just looking for that boost of motivation, you are in the right place. Let's dive in. I know what it feels like to be paralyzed by questions like, what will my old colleagues say if I change careers? Or what will my family say if I pivot again? And my favorite, what will the people from my corporate life think? Those questions can keep you stuck for years. It's like walking around with the weight of other people's expectations on your shoulders like it's your own truth. But it's not. And eventually, carrying all that weight gets exhausting. It makes you question your own desires until one day you finally realize that you have been living your life like it's a group project, waiting for everyone else to approve your next move. And that's exactly where boundaries start to break down. So let's talk about boundaries for a second, not the cute Pinterest version. I'm talking about the ones that are supposed to keep you safe, the emotional bumpers we think we have set up to protect ourselves from disappointment or rejection. Do you know what those boundaries remind me of? Those bumpers that they put in the gutters when kids go bowling. I want you to picture these. You still roll the ball down the lane, but you know it's not really free to move. It's just being redirected back and forth until it hits something. That's how most people are living, convinced they've got boundaries, but really they're just bouncing around inside a life they didn't even choose. Why? Because they're too scared to take the bumpers off because they don't trust themselves to aim for something better. But here's what I want you to hear gently and with love. Even if you're still figuring out how to set boundaries, even if you're still learning how to put yourself first, you are doing the best you can with what you have. Friend, that counts. That matters. Whether you are the corporate woman still trying to figure out if you like your job, or if you are the stay at home mom who gives everything to her kids and forgets she's allowed to want something for herself too. Or maybe you are the student feeling like the world is just one big mountain of bad news. Whoever you are, your effort is not invisible, even if it's not loud, even if it doesn't look like someone else's version of achievement. Maybe part of you already knows that. Deep down, you have felt the nudge to want more, to be more, to try something different, but you haven't moved yet. And that's okay. You don't need to have it all figured out today. There is nothing wrong with taking a pause, sitting in the in between, and letting the idea of change settle before you make a move. So if you have been sitting with that quiet nudge, wondering if there is more for you, pay attention to it. Could you do better? Probably yes. We all could. But sometimes the timing just is not right. Sometimes life has to shake you a little, wake you up with something unexpected before you are ready to take action. Friend, once you start listening to that nudge, Once you realize you actually are meant for more, something else becomes really clear. Not everyone can come with you. I know this is the hard part, but you've got to be willing to let go of the people, the organizations, and even the friendships that no longer support your peace. I know you want to be kind. I know you have probably convinced yourself that loyalty means never outgrowing anyone. But here's the truth: the people who don't understand where you are headed are usually the ones who haven't had the courage to move forward in their own life. And if they haven't done it for themselves, how could they possibly understand what's driving you? Think about it. And these remind me of something. The other day, I came across a quote that made me pause. The easiest way to stay broke is to take advice from people living a life you don't want. Let that sink in. You wouldn't ask a dentist to fix your car. You wouldn't take parenting advice from someone who's never raised a child. So, why are you still letting people with zero experience in reinvention have so much influence over your decision? Be honest. I'm sure that opinion feels safe, familiar, but it's not helping you grow. It's keeping you small. I know that's a lot to sit with, but if you decide to start all over again, there is one more piece people overlook when they are trying to start over. Something that will absolutely determine whether you're burned out or actually make it to the other side, and it's this. It's to learn how to rest without guilt. This one was a hard one for me. The truth is, I remember pushing myself through work days when I was clearly sick, packing up my cold medicine and heading to the office like I was doing something heroic. I wore exhaustion like a badge of honor. I used to tell myself that checking emails while on vacation was just being responsible, that staying on top of things will make reentry easier. But let me tell you something: that mindset is a lie, because no matter how much you try to stay ahead, there will always be more emails, more meetings, more tasks waiting for you. And if you don't stop to breathe, if you don't give yourself the permission to rest, you will burn out long before you cross whatever imaginary finish line you're chasing. Listen, I don't care if you are 28 or 68. You're not behind. You're not off track. You are arriving exactly when you're meant to. The version of you that's listening to this right now, she's ready. Your story is not over. Friend, it's unfolding. You still get to decide what the next chapter looks like. You are allowed to begin again as many times as it takes. So let me ask you, at what point do you stop letting one failed attempt define your whole future? At what point do you decide it's not too late to try again on your terms? Friend, that choice is yours, and no one else gets to write that ending. Thanks for joining another episode of At What Point. I hope today's conversation sparked some inspiration for your journey of growth and transformation. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to visit katherinebeltran.com/podcast for show notes, special discounts on coaching packages, and freebies to help you keep moving forward. And last but not least, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a show. See you next time.